Okay, we're getting ready to start chapter 7. And it's probably a good idea to always have your notes ready along with your journal or journal pages online. So new notes for chapter 7. And it starts on page 305. So we got Harry and Susan. They're playing Number Squeeze, the game they played in earlier grades. So you've probably seen this before in previous grades in your math journals. So Harry's going to choose a mystery number between 0 and 50, and Susan is guessing his number. She guesses 7. Harry says, no, it's greater than 7. So she guesses 45, and Harry gives her the clue. Nope, it's greater than 45. So pause the video and write down what number you think she should guess next and why. Okay, anything that you said is greater than 45 between 0 and 50. So 46 would have been a good guess. 47, 48, 49, 50 even would have been a good guess. And why? Because we know it is between 45 and 50. That'd be the explanation. Okay. Down at the bottom, Theo and Margaret are playing the same game. Represent each of the 2 number squeeze clues with an inequality and describe the solution sets. Graph the solution that makes both inequalities true and then list 3 numbers that could be the mystery number. Check that they're all in the solution sets for both inequalities. So go ahead and do that, A, B, and C. Pause the video and do that, and then start the video back up. Okay, here are a couple of the answers, a couple ways to write that inequality. You can have the y plus 3 is less than 4, or you could say y is less than 1. The solution set for that would be all the numbers less than 1. Now he gives the clue that the number y is greater than -4, so that's how you would write that. Y is greater than -4. The solution set is all numbers greater than -4. So if his mystery number has to satisfy both of those clues, look at letter B and how they did their number line. Open circle on the -4, that's important to have that open circle. And open circle on the 1, and it's anything in between there. Then 3, these are just sample numbers for answers. 3 numbers that y could be 0, could be -1, could be -0.5, could be -2, -3. Okay, lots of numbers that it could be. So if we go back to our flip chart here, have to get my cursor to work. Sometimes I struggle with that one. Okay. Page 306, we have another one. Margaret's representing her mystery number with the variable p. Now her clues are 1/3 of p is less than or equal to 1.4. So write an inequality for that. And then her next clue, and then the solution set. Then the next clue is the number p is greater than 4. Write the inequality for that and the solution set. Graph it on the number line. Remember your open circles and closed circles and what they mean. If you forgot, open circles means it does not include, and closed circles mean it does include. So for example, the clue 1/3 of p is less than or equal to. That's a filled in circle. If you look at his second clue, the number p is greater than 4. That does not include the 4. That is an open circle. And then do letter C. So pause the video and do those. And here are the answers for that. So 3A, the 1/3 of p is less than or equal to 1.4. 1/3 of the letter P, of means times, so 1/3 of P divided by 3, the same thing, less than or equal to 1.4. Or you could have wrote P as less than or equal to 4.2. Because if you take 1.4 times 3, you get the 4.2. So they just solved the inequality there. The number P is greater than 4. Only one way to write that one there. Then your solution sets. And then look at letter B on how you write the number line, how you make the number line there. 3 possible answers they put there, 4.1, 4.04. Okay, so you have to be greater than 4, but less than 4.2. Or you could have had 4.2. 4.2 could be the answer because it is less than or equal to 4.2. Okay. Okay, moving on to 306. On 306 here, Theo. So go ahead and do that. Pause the video. Write those in. So the product of 3 and x is x times 3. Less than or equal to 27. That's how I would have wrote this first one. 3x less than or equal to 27. If you divide both sides by 3, then you could have wrote it as x is less than or equal to 9. The solution set are all numbers less than or equal to 9. Okay. Second clue. The number x is less than 8.5. So all numbers less than 8.5. So if your clues are you're less than 9 and you're less than 8.5, any number less than 8.5 satisfies both of those clues. So that's why letter B, they drew the number line as they did. Open circle on 8.5, and you have to draw the arrow to the left. 3 numbers, it could be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or the sample answers that they gave you there. Okay, going on to 307. Pause the video and try number 5. Okay, here are the answers. When you subtract 7 from B, so that means B minus 7. Make sure you don't have 7 minus B. You have to have B before you can take 7 away from it, because it says when you subtract 7 from B. The difference is going to be greater than 3. Okay, if you add 7 to both sides, B is greater than 10. Solution set, all numbers greater than 10. The second clue, B is less than or equal to 10.4. All numbers less than or equal to 10.4. Look at how letter B number line should be drawn. Open circle, close circle. 3 numbers it could be 10.1, 10.05, okay, 10.2, 10.3. All those would work. Okay, now you're going to make 2 inequalities clues. You make the clues for the number line they gave you. And now letter B says write a different set of inequalities that could also be represented by this graph. So pause the video and do number 6 there, A and B. Okay, look at number 6. The answers are there. Sample answers are given. So you should have said for inequality A, you could have said K is less than or equal to 3.5. And you could have said K is greater than 1.5. X, B, W, whatever variable you want to use. But it needs to be less than or equal to 3.5 and greater than 1.5. Letter B, write a different set of inequalities. So basically you take those from A and B, you can add 1 to them, subtract 2 from them, both sides. So they wrote K plus 3 is less than or equal to 6.5 because they added 3 to both sides. They subtracted 1 from both sides for inequality D. Those are just examples of what other possibilities would be. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and do the try this for number 7, go ahead. If you don't, that's okay. Sometimes they're kind of difficult. So if you want to pause it, go ahead and try it. And here are, whoops, I gotta go down a little bit. There are some sample answers for that one, if you tried that one. Okay. Math box on 308 if you want to try that. And I know you don't have the worksheet, but if you, let me think about this, you probably can't even print it. So I will find the answers for the math box. And then if you want to give some of these a try, just pause the video and try them on a piece of paper. I will have these answers on tomorrow's lesson. All right? Have a good day, everybody.